keeping the pressure high until the very end. This week, we return to the United States at Watkins Glen, where more high-speed battles await. We go green, live, next on ASN. Our venue for this evening is the virtual Watkins Glen International. Built in 1956 in the picturesque Finger Lake region of New York, Watkins Glen is a storied 3.4-mile road course known for its rich motorsport history. The track features 11 challenging corners, including the high-speed S's and the famous boot section, which tests both precision and speed. Watkins Glen has hosted everything from Formula One to NASCAR, including the legendary United States Grand Prix, making it a cornerstone of American racing. Its blend of fast straights and technical corners, along with its scenic setting, has earned a special place in the hearts of drivers and fans alike. The format for the TORQ Sports Car Series is as follows. The drivers are currently running a 15-minute qualifying session to determine the grid for our 45-minute feature race. And in TORQ, there is a field capacity of 48 cars, so it looks like we've got 3 cars that'll go home this evening. The 6th season of the TORQ Sports Car Series continues tonight live on the Automotive Sports Network. With Bryan Sawyer in the production truck and also next to me in the commentary box, my name is Josh Mertz as we welcome you to Watkins Glen, New York. Cameras all season on ASN are brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams. And thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for your camera support as always. And Mr. Bryan Sawyer, from what I heard, last week was a very fun race. Came down to that very close finish overall. We're back to the United States, back to Watkins Glen. We've seen so much action over the past couple seasons that we've been covering here in New York. How are you, and what are your thoughts?
Hey, yeah, last week was great. We saw an AM driver just tear up the field and win the overall. So that was awesome to watch. Track was super fun. Le Mans is always a good time. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the action we got tonight. And really never actually raced on this track. So I'm
really
excited to see how this goes. Yeah, no, I'm not a big road guy, and then the road series I run, Watkins Glen, just never really appears. So
that's hard to believe, as Watkins Glen, such a famous and wonderful circuit like we talked about in the opener here in New York. Been repaved recently, used to have gravel traps on the exits of the corners. I'm not sure if track limits are going to be really prevalent or called in turn 1, for example. We see the NASCAR boys driving way out to the fence because that totally makes sense. Not sure if TORQ is going to rein in those track limits as we're running through qualifying now. Bryan, let's take a look at the Drivers' Championships coming into Watkins Glen. And in the pro class, we've got Parker Duim and Corey Allen, 1 point in it in the Drivers' Championship. Brian Coxen close behind, Ruiz, Ramos, Carrito Clark, Rivera, Schofield, Sandoval, the rest of the top 10. And in the AM class, I believe it is quite the battle as well. It is. Jose Doleo and Nathan Kretschmer tied. And Doleo, I think, finished second in Montreal in the week before. The race is slipping my mind there. But after the win last week, 3 consecutive podiums, incredible run for the Puerto Rican man. And he leads, tied with Kretschmer. And the team's championship, the Puerto Ricans are out in force because Sim Racing PR and Sim PR on the top of the table. WBM Green 1 point behind Midwest Motorsports EHM. We take a look down the order there. And the Manufacturers Championship, it has been a toss-up all season long. McLaren sneaking away ahead of Ford, Porsche, Ferrari, Corvette, BMW, Lamborghini, and Mercedes-Benz. Some programming notes before we roll further into qualifying here on the Automotive Sports Network. It looks very easy from this list that we have, but the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge, NASA Rallycross World Championship concludes on Saturday at Knockhill in Scotland. It's a winner-take-all scenario between the 2 kids of Evan McFarlane and Kieran Lifflander. Be sure to join us 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Bryan Sawyer, myself, Josh Mertz for that, for the conclusion of the 31st season of the World Championship. That's going to be immense to watch. And our next round for the TORQ Sports Car Series at Road America in Wisconsin next Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We do have some iRacing Rallycross officials I think we're going to broadcast. That's more of a Bryan realm. He is figuring out a day, figuring out a time. We'll keep an eye on ASNTVUSA.com for that. So, Bryan, let's take a look at the time so far. Miguel Colon, 1 minute 44.466, 1 minute 44.526 for Hector Alvarez. And Colon heading down the, I'd say the sole of the boot to the heel into the final couple of corners. Norman Padovani, I think, is a newer driver, although I could be wrong. He could have raced a couple of weeks ago. Looks new to me. Carlos Ramos in fourth, Ricardo Delgado
I know
fifth.
that car, though.
As he's on the Sim Racing PR team. Okay, so we'll take a look and see. Let's pick up Miguel Colon through the final corner, car number 87. He's currently sitting quickest provisionally. Will he improve his time crossing the start-finish line? 1 minute 44.6. He does not. Let's slide back to Hector Alvarez in the 70. Off the final corner, he plowed the wall. And now he'll have to take it to the pit lane. He has 7.5 minutes, and he didn't complete that lap. But, Bryan, I don't know. You only get 3 laps. That might be it for him.
Yeah. Sorry. Looking for my
Carlos
buttons.
Ramos has parked it. No worries. Austin Diltz is the next car on a lap in the 57. We are right on board Padovani in car number 4.
He's the only person up in the top 5 on a lap right now, on this start.
1 minute 44.646. In the 4th position is car number 4. We've got Austin Diltz entering the final corner. I've got him on my screen. We can focus on Padovani as well. We've got Schofield, who is just starting his 3rd lap. Diltz will cross the line off screen in the 57. 1 minute 44.8. The lap didn't count, it looks like. Let's pick up Padovani across the line. His last lap, 1 minute 45.2. So he will not improve, it looks like.
Josh, I have good news for you. And I know this doesn't matter to our audience, but I can actually now watch your ADHD clicking this. It decided to finally show up on my side.
You're going to have a good time.
Or I'm going to throw up.
It's a journey. It's a journey. I'll try not to have it be too bad. Yes, so some inside baseball here at ASN. Like we know, Bryan Sawyer pushes all the buttons, and he miraculously follows my ADHD brain as I call a race. He deserves an award just being able to do that. So, let me take a look through the field here, Bryan. Colon is done with his run, obviously. Diltz is heading, we'll call it, towards the toe of the boot if we want to pick him up. Unless, never mind, you're on Schofield. Schofield is closer to the start-finish line. So apologies for that one. We'll keep an eye on the New Hampshire native in the 313. He heads into the penultimate corner in the McLaren. Gorgeous paint scheme, always running black and silver. Even when his NASA Rallycross days, he would run that kind of color scheme across the line. Will he improve? 1 minute 45.1, barely. Jose Doleo, P1. Where did that come from? 1 minute 44.421 by half a tenth. He goes P1. And that was his first lap.
Out of nowhere.
So the 46 goes to the top of the board.
Yeah, he's got
Manuel
just enough
Sandoval's
time,
done. Morgan Smith is the next car on a lap. Bryan, dare I say it? Well, I don't want to discredit anybody else. Yun Gonzalez is on his 2nd lap in the 5:43. He's currently sitting 46th overall. We'll stay focused on Doleo to see if Yun Gonzalez will improve crossing the line. He does not. So, a last-second effort for Doleo maybe to steal pole position. Brian Coxen is on his 2nd lap in the 23. He's exiting the pit lane now. He'll have plenty of time in the 23 to maybe steal the pole position away. And this is crucial for Doleo because he is on top of the board in the AM class and overall. The next closest AM car is Armando Arenz. 0.6 of a second down on Doleo, Bryan. So, through the bus stop, exiting the bus stop, Brian Coxen. Let's ride on board car 23 here, Bryan. enjoy half a lap or so here in Watkins Glen.
You know, I'm surprised we got Jose still in the AM class this week. With his performance last week, we were telling him, look forward to see you in pro next week. He said, yeah, probably. And surprisingly still in AM.
As it always is interesting, we have the same issue, of course, in NASA Rallycross, where you have a guy who, brand new to the series, you can't just throw him in the pro class right away because you're not sure on pace, but you're also caught between a rock and a hard place. Do I want to let this guy run away with this championship that he deserves because he's so much quicker? Or do I want to move him because he's obliterating the rest of the field? So it's definitely a tricky slope. We've been playing with that one at NASA Sim Racing as well. So Bryan Coxen. Sorry, Bryan, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think it might be a little easier for them to shuffle people around due to the shared points. I mean, I don't think you're necessarily going to like it if a pro guy falls down to AM and they have a few more points than the AM guys, but you don't see that happen too often. But these AM guys that are just ripping through the field, they get a pro next to their name, they don't lose any points. The competition just increases.
Coxen begins his third lap. I want to give a shout-out to TORQ/ASN's very own Ethan Halsey. He's been dealing with an upper respiratory infection for probably 3 weeks now, hence why he was not around for the conclusion of the Futures and the Light series. I just want to bring this up that he has been roasted by one of his drivers. Walker McNulty said, Ethan Halsey, more like grown-up Carl Weezer. So, I just thought that one was hilarious. And yes, Ethan, if you're listening to the cast and you just came over race control, I did just call you out on a public show, as everybody is making fun of him right now. So, we're looking at Wesley Woods in the 49. He's in the AM class, but it was not classed correctly. He is sitting 49th in car 49, and he will cross the line to end his... Well, this lap doesn't count, so never mind, Bryan. You're throwing me off.
Yeah, he's on lap 5. He's just one of the couple people on track right now. I think we got Nick Vincent, and Nick Vincent sitting in pits. Actually, I think the only person only person on the lap is Bryan Coxen, finishing up his third.
And Nick Vincent saying that we are part of the Yaptona 500 because Ethan has keyed up the race control chat and hasn't stopped.
You know, it is in their rules. Keep the chat to race control only. They're going to start roasting him. He's going to just start throwing out penalties.
I mean, we will see a fancy graphic pop up on the top of the stream if we see penalties. So we don't have to guess, or I don't have to listen to the chat all night. Coxen hits the wall, Bryan. Is that going to invalidate the lap? He backed off.
Yeah.
Oh, that is the worst feeling that you're pushing. You're on a lap of your life, and you kiss the wall ever so slightly.
Last corner, too. Not ideal.
That'll be pole position for Jose Doleo in car number 46 by half a tenth over Miguel Colon, Hector Alvarez, Carlos Ramos, Norman Padovani. The top 5 as we wait the time to elapse here in qualifying. Everybody ran some laps. Looks like Wesley Woods will be the one car to go home. Actually, according to this, and I'm not sure if Dylan Clark is race control, but according to timing and scoring, Wesley Woods, Dylan Clark, Kieran Lifflander, we know Halsey's race control, and Christian Oquendo will be the 4 cars not to race this evening. Interesting
that Kieran is. We know Kieran's not an admin or anything here, so Kieran is definitely a driver. He's got no time to set a lap, so he's definitely
no laps.
Leaving.
Interesting. I mean, he's one of the fastest kids on dirt roads, so I know he's capable of driving more than one car quick. But I'd find it interesting. If I was in his shoes, I would be solely focusing on that Rallycross championship on Saturday. Maybe he changed his mind, and that's why he didn't set a time. Who knows? But our grid is set here in Watkins Glen, and Jess Rakowski is going to make yet another short of my comedic grid reads. Jose Doleo, Miguel Colon, Hector Alvarez, Carlos Ramos, Norman Padovani, the top 5, Dilt Delgado, Coxen, Schofield, Sandoval, the top 10. 11th will be Hector Colazzo, then it's Parker Duim, Edgar Ruiz, Michael Odell, Armando Arens, Nick Saunders, Nathan Kretschmer, Alan McNulty, and Corritto in 20th. Zachary Goddard in 21st, Luis Ortiz, Kyle Smith, Morgan Smith, Ramon Vasquez, Rafael Sosa, Chris Wilkie, Jake Carter, Omar Esvito, and Doug Betts. Then we've got Cartwright, Clark, Timms, Height, Fazzillo, Seguenza, Hallroyd, Rivera, Zarat, and Heineman through 40th.
Last page.
And 41st, Dennis Crosby, Zach Trevino, Nicholas Rode, Wanchi Rakenna, Cody Curran, Yun Gonzalez, Nick Vincent, Steven Ryan. Dylan Clark has been disqualified, so I think he is running race control. He was made an admin. So that's our field here in Watkins Glen. And 48 GT3 cars getting ready to take to the track here at Watkins Glen. Always a popular racetrack. We've seen a capacity field for the past couple of seasons here.
I gotta apologize. I didn't do my homework this week, Josh.
When do you ever, Brian?
I know. The AM class numbers are not visible on the ticker. I'll try and get it fixed during our break. But they're just little black racing plates there. No numbers.
Work in progress on the new graphics. As if you'd like to join here in TORQ, we got that QR code on the bottom of the ticker. They've got their GT3 series, which you're obviously watching here live. And the TORQ IndyCar series, you'll see at the bottom on the ASN News ticker. I'm going to announce it, that the Automotive Sports Network tentatively going to be joining you guys on Tuesday evenings. I think it's going to be myself and Bryan Sawyer, starting at the racing capital of the world, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. We'll get that ironed out and announced fully proper next week. But keep an eye out. That's going to be super exciting.
No days off.
No days off. No, NASA ends, and here we are, Brian. Here we are. You and I, pair of the century. So Jose Doleo and Miguel Colon on the front row of the grid. Here in Watkins Glen, 48 cars, 45 minutes. Oh, boy. And my stuff's starting to break.
You are blinking like crazy.
I am blinking like crazy. Hopefully you don't lose me while I start to attempt this call as we get ready to go green in Watkins Glen. Green flag. Very slow off the line that's Doleo. I am having major issues, Brian, into turn number 1, side by side. I think it was contact between Doleo and Colon.
Around Deleo's out of here.
Around is Doleo.
I think that's Doleo. My thing's a Christmas tree. It is Doleo.
As we got a stack up in the S's as well. As down the back straightaway towards the bus stop. I am having such struggles right now, Brian. I apologize. Down the back straightaway, Colon leads ahead of Ramos.
We got the top 5 within about a second of each other. After that, we got pretty much 1/10 from between everybody, all the way back to 10th. Then there's a half-second gap to 11th, and then it starts right over again, 1/10 between everybody.
Is down to the toe of the boot. Hopefully you've got me. I'm restarting internally.
I got you.
It's now heading towards the heel of the boot. As I believe that's Miguel Colon. We only got the three letters on the ticker there, Brian, if you can pull that up while I try to bring them back. We got Colon, Ramos, Alvarez, Diltz, Delgado, the top 5. Pretty single file, even. Not sure why my feed broke internally. Apologies for that one as I try to give you guys a call. Got side by side. Not sure who that is.
That's Luis Ortiz and Michael Odell. Ortiz is trying to go around the outside. Or no, that's Odell going around the outside of Ortiz.
And the Mustang takes it.
Taking the spot.
So, once I get back in, Brian, I think you're going to lose my ADHD camera switching while I try and fix everything. That's probably what broke. As we look at Manuel Sandoval, one car exiting the pit lane, it looked like. Not sure who that one is. Through the S's.
Going to pits, that's Ramon Vasquez taking his first pit stop already.
A single file through the S's, down the back straightaway now. Vasquez staying out of the way.
On lap 1, all the way through, we've had Kyle Smith pit, Fozzie Fazillo, Norman Padavoni, Zach Trevino, Ramon Vasquez, and Jose Doleo all have pitted on lap 1.
And Doleo, the man who won last week and is on 3 consecutive podiums, out in the first corner. Brian, can we take a look at that? Because I was struggling to see, of course, during the stream issues.
I got it somewhere. It looks like we lost him twice, maybe. We're gonna hit this button. We're gonna try this one. That was a little early. We're just going to rewind that.
They're side by side, down to the first corner. Is that Cologne? Did he close the door?
Yeah. It looked like Doleo just kind of rolled out wide a little bit, and there was plenty of space on that inside. I think he just, they just touched, got him loose, turned him around.
Alrighty, so I think I'm back internally, which is marvelous. My graphics don't look very great, but that's totally okay. And let me try and find what is happening here in Watkins Glen, and apologies for that. iRacing, when it decides to break, it doesn't tell you. It just decides to break and throws everything into chaos. So, we have lost Fozzie Fazzillo. He has disconnected from the session. And taking a look through the field here, it looks like we're pretty single file here, Bryan.
Yeah, the pack is spread out a little bit. What was once 1/10 between everybody in the top 10 is now Miguel Colon starting to pull away. We got 3 tests to Ramos, 3 tests to Alvarez, 4 tests to
Real
Hills,
quick, Chris Wilkie and Zach Goddard battling for the 22nd position.
Oh, it's a...
Goddard has given up 3 positions on this back straightaway side by side with Jack Clark through the bus stop.
I say, on the camera there, it looks like a flying V. It looks like the geese migrating.
Through the carousel. Car number 50, avoidable contact from race control. Ethan Halsey, not sure if he's popped up the graphic yet, but just hearing it through race control. Jack Clark and Callie Height. We've lost Zach Trevino in the 16 as well, so 46 cars left to run. Half a second between Colon and Ramos, and Sosa trying to ask why he's getting a penalty in the middle of the race. And we had this issue in Road Atlanta where they tried to call penalties and have conversations against race control. And just an update to the Nathan Kretschmer fan club. We see that graphic there. Kretschmer's sitting in 42nd, just to let everybody know. As we see the graphic, one car pounds the wall in the exit of the final corner. And that one was, trying to pick that up, it looks like it was Ramos. Ramos and Alvarez battling. And Sosa's still trying to battle his penalty, Bryan, over race control.
Yeah, that's not something you want to do over all chat, too. Everybody's going to hear it. Everybody's going to be annoyed by it. And not going to make friends out there.
Pits. In the 29.
Take the penalty, take it to appeals after the race.
Carlos Ramos defends the inside on Alvarez down to the bus stop. Colon kind of defends as well. Corey Allen comes over chat, rubbing his racing. And through the bus stop, single file.
Stop and hold.
Zarate, stop and hold penalty for car number 7. Yes, thank you, Ethan Halsey. I'll say this after roasting you. This is going to make our jobs immensely easier. Zarate sitting 31st overall. I'm going to try and take a look off monitor and see if I can pick up what exactly happened with the 7. I'm not sure if I'll be able to pull it up.
I might be able to.
I don't think I can.
Who are we looking for?
Oh, one car around. It's Holroyd in the bus stop. He hit the third curb, jumped, and slammed into the tires. And the 73 will have to pit.
He's missing the front bumper. Yeah, he's going to lose all his speed. I got that one. I can get that one real quick.
One car around in front of him, blocking the track. Nicholas Rode. Let's watch this replay real quick. Then we can pick up Rode. Rode spun on his own, hit the curb. Rallycross is not today, my friend. And Nicholas Rode blocked the track. Nobody hit him. But Stephen Ryan and Kyle Smith came together for 41st. Let's take a look at Rode here in the 74. We've lost Rode as well in the 74, so he is disconnected from that mistake. And Bryan, it looks like he just overdrove the corner.
Yeah, he just overdrove it, looped it a little bit. And he got off the track. I would have
Jose
got
Doleo
going again, but...
and Rafael Sosa, after their run a couple weeks ago, they are last of the running cars. How everything can change.
Were you looking for their accident? I think I have it.
I wasn't, but if you want to pull that up, that'd be exquisite. We can take a look at that one.
Oh, I think we already looked at that one. Oh my God, look how many cars there are on this. That is insane.
Oh, look at that. There was one, looked like it was one of the BMWs crossing the track, and that's Sosa in the 50 came across.
Yeah.
As Coxen in 6th, Sandoval 7th. Just taking a look through the field here, seeing exactly what is transpiring Zach Goddard missed what he said coming over the driver's scanner in the 29. He sits in 39th position for JC Simsport. As we look at Manuel Sandoval into the 420. He won in Daytona, if I'm not mistaken, or finished second to Corey Allen. That was a great battle as we ride on board the 420. Avoidable minor contact, a pass-through penalty for somebody, but I missed it from race control. Hopefully that graphic will pop up here shortly.
Yeah, it's looking like it's...
Kretschmer black flagged. That's what it is. Nathan Kretschmer will be back black flagged by race control in the 43. And I'm not exactly sure what that contact was for. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more info, like I said.
Making a pass on Kretschmer.
With no front bumper.
No front bumper. I mean,
surprisingly, he hasn't gotten a meatball flag.
I mean, no front bumper. I mean, you're okay. The cars, if your suspension and everything are fine. I mean, you're just losing aero. But I think there's our Kretschmer penalty. Minor infraction. He's got to drive through.
All right,
also.
just got called that he did not have a front bumper. And Halsey is even questioning why he hasn't had a meatball. So I'm not sure if Halsey himself's going to step in and make the 73 pit. As Yun Gonzalez trying to pull up as Kretschmer pits. Timing is a Christmas tree right now. As Requena passes Betts in turn 1. Half a second between Colon and Ramos. Ramos was up by a 10th on Colon that last time around. After Doleo crashed in turn 1, this gives Armando Arenz the AM-class lead, and he's got 5 seconds over Zach Saunders in the 117. So Arenz looking good. Of course, we're early here, 10 minutes in, but he's got a buffer.
Down Morgan Smith.
Corretto 3/10 away from the Lamborghini of Smith. 320 versus the 58. Just taking a look through the field, just trying to find if there's any battles right now, and it's calmed down for the most part, it looks like. As Edgar Ruiz and Parker Duim, what did I say in my intro? That they were battling for the race win last week. They are in 9th and 10th today, and it is so frequent and mentioned every show. I know I'm a broken record, but the parody and the just... how unpredictable the TORQ Sports Car Series is every week. Super entertaining. As Ramos and Alvarez. Alvarez had a great run off of turn 1. Ramos kind of blocked. Ramos compromised his entry into the S's. Alvarez trying to nose ahead. He's going to have the run. He's going to have also potential bump draft from Austin Diltz in the 57. Diltz looked to the inside. No way you can make that pass stick into the bus stop. Alvarez clears him! Deep on the brakes was Diltz, and he made it work! What a move!
I was ready to queue up another replay, Josh. It's like we're about to see one of these calls until the cars go into the wall.
I was tensing up, waiting for someone to crash, and it never happened. What a move!
I mean, they're still all pretty close to each other. They're under a second apart for the battle.
Contact with Esvito and Wilkie through the bus stop. 20th and 21st. As Halsey mentioning 3 warnings for something. I think that's a track limits warning, so he might be policing track limits, is Ethan Halsey at race control. We will just have to see what happened. Aaron Hallroyd yet to pit, just taking a look through the field. Still missing the front bumper. As Kretschmer pits again. Callie Hyde has been called for warping in the 0-1.
What's warping, Josh?
As one car around, as Vito in the
Was
20.
What we just saw there, warping, the wiggling the car back and forth?
Connection issues. Sorry, warping's warping's an old school NASCAR 2003 term. I apologize. So yeah, connection issues on Callie Heights. So I think that's what Ethan was calling 3 strikes for. Apologies that I missed it. You get 3 strikes from race control to call you for your connection issues. I do believe
she's
so.
Getting blinked by Alex Rivera.
And Rivera called it again for the 0-1 of Callie Height. Oh! She's getting disqualified for her connection issues in the 0-1.
Oof.
Because she didn't pull over. And that is a black flag, and that is race over. And we've lost Christian Zarat as well. He is disconnected, so Interesting to see the live race control here in TORQ.
Something that happened to Sandoval. Oh, Sandoval's just in the pits. I see him tumbling down, and it's always weird when you're watching the cars on track, you don't realize where you are, and then you watch somebody just start tumbling down the timing. They're in the pits.
Valley Heights says that's BS according to the rule. Well, the rulebook does say 3 connection strikes. Didn't even park. Did she cause the issue? No. I don't know. If you're called that you're having connection issues, pull over and fix it. Don't keep driving, because racing a warping car, not a fun thing to do. On screen right now, we take a look. Is that Alvarez and Duim?
I'm on Parker Duim right now, and I think we just lost one of them on screen there. Nope, they're back.
Duim and
I got Duim
Ruiz.
and Ruiz, yeah. We got some
Kyle
battles
Smith has
going
gotten
on
by
back
Nick
here.
Vincent.
Yeah.
As Nick Vincent, huge run off the corner. Couldn't make anything happen. And Callie Hyde is still trying to argue with race control about her disqualification. Nick Vincent deep on the brakes.
You can't
And
undisqualify in a session.
And Halsey just reminding her that she did receive 3 warnings and didn't do anything about it. So, I don't know. I side with race control on this one.
Yeah, there's no use arguing with them. Especially when they're doing it live. I mean, the decision has been made. You hit the DQ button.
It's crucial to race with either voice chat or the text chat enabled, just so you can know that that things are happening. Don't call me out, because I didn't race with it in NASA.
I was going to say, I have yelled at you so many times, and you've never responded, and you go, I don't have it on.
Hey, man. We don't. I run the show. I make my own rules. I'm kidding. So, find a battle, Bryan. We got them everywhere. Ruiz and Duim battling for 8th. Still looking at Vincent.
Yeah, Sandoval owes Vito. Chasing down Zachary Goddard.
And Zachary Goddard sitting in the 34th position.
He's
Sandoval
running for his life. That car's got teeth.
And the Porsche against the McLaren. Defending. Driver's right is Goddard. Into the bus stop. Sandoval looks to the outside. Can't make it happen. Over the first curb, second curb. You really got to follow the leader through the bus stop unless you have, as David Hobbs would say, very large attachments, because it is very hard to make a move. Sandoval tried to get the grip off the carousel. Goddard wide as they're still battling. And this is what I love about TORQ along with NASA. It's any position that matters, Bryan. It doesn't matter if it's 1st or 34th. They're going to battle like it's for the race win.
Yeah, it's a huge field. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like you got cars all around you. It's fun to race for every spot. I almost made this PG-13, but it's super fun. Every spot, you got cars all around you. There's people of all skills, AM and pro. I mean, you're always looking for the race. I mean, you know you're in 35th position. You're like, I'm back here. Might as well have fun. Might as well learn how to pass. Try and get some stuff done and get better and better. So when you do find some more pace and you're up there, you know what you're doing.
Just want to take an update as we still focus on the battle with Goddard. Carlos Ramos has fallen to 4th position. Austin Diltz in the 3rd position still. As I stand corrected, I thought there was a second move. It was that move into the bus stop earlier on with Ramos. So, Miguel Colon, 1.5 seconds ahead of Alvarez, who's half a second, call it 0.6 up on Diltz. Ramos falling, Coxen in 5th, Delgado, Schofield, Ruiz, Duim, Odell. The top 10.
While we have a minute, Josh, everything's a little fizzled out. Let's look at their position changes on the night. And Ramos held steady so far. We got Colon up 1, Alvarez up 1.
Coxen up 3, Allen up 6, Seguenza up 15, Requena up 19, Crosby up 14.
I mean, that's a huge jump for Vincent and Requena. And Steven Ryan. They're all up in the mid to high teens. I mean, that's got to feel good. I mean, you're still in 24th position, but hey, I gained 15 spots tonight. That's a great feeling.
Sandoval and Goddard still battling. We still look at is this Delgado here. Let's pick up Sandoval and Goddard again, because Goddard looking on the outside in the heel of the boot, Bryan. This is for 34th. Goddard thought about it, couldn't make it happen. Through the field, still pretty calm. As we're about 20 minutes in. Delgado and Coxen getting close. And I think maybe, Bryan, is it a bit too early to step aside while we've got some downtime? It's totally up to you.
We can take a break. I got a water bottle with my name on it.
I'm going to take some drinks of my grape-flavored water as well. So I'll tell you what, everyone. We're going to step aside for our break here on the Automotive Sports Network. You won't miss a thing, as we're going to go ASN nonstop from Watkins Glen.
By the way, I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous with your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to NordVPN.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Absolutely be doing what he has to do. He has to go for the championship. He has to recover the points that he lost. He's down the race, takes the lead in the 12. What a move. And he takes the lead and holds it.
Side between these two in the turmoil. This is going to get spicy. Exiting
turn one, over the jump to begin the first lap. Clog at the inside line. McFarland contact between them. They are still side by side. This opens the door for Wetz. He can't make anything happen. From the 26, he has not won in quite some time. Ragster acing the entry to turn one, up and into the inside of Magnus, gives him a nudge. The grip strip on the inside, Phil. Wetz had a little bit better run, but looks like Magnus will hold his power.
We welcome you back to round 6 of season 6 of the TORQ Sports Car Series here from Watkins Glen in New York with Bryan Sawyer of the production truck, and also next to me in the commentary box. My name is Josh Mertz, live on the Automotive Sports Network. We've had a couple cars pit, but the leaders have not. So let's take a look and take this opportunity to thank Whiplash SimCams for our cameras all season on ASN. Facebook.com/WSimCams. Thank you, Andrew Cardinale IV, for all of your camera support, whether it's NASA Rallycross or TORQ Sports Car. And a couple of programming notes before those pit stops begin. Saturday, NASA Rallycross Supercars concludes the 31st season. We have Evan McFarlane, Kieran Lifflander, winner take all for the World Championship, 2 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. You'll have Bryan Sawyer, myself, Josh Mertz for that. Our next round for the TORQ Sports Car Series at Road America in Wisconsin next Thursday, the 14th. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll have Bryan and myself for that. And unofficially announcing the TORQ IndyCar Series. It'll start in a couple weeks. We'll have it featured on the schedule, and the Rallycross officials splits as well. Just a reminder, if you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. Ring the bell to be notified of our live streams. Currently only on Thursdays, but we will have, of course, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Wow, that's a lot, Bryan. Along with our short,
be here Saturday.
Along with our short form video content, courtesy of Jess Rakowski. If you'd like your content broadcast at asntvusa.com, if you'd like to race in TORQ, we do have that QR code featured on our ticker on the bottom left. So, Parker Duim has pitted. David Schofield has pitted. Miguel Colon yet to pit. We remember Jose Doleo won last week. And he led off the line and crashed in turn 1. So the man who has been on the podium the last 3 weeks, out. Well, not out. He's in 25th, but out from the race lead, Bryan.
Yeah, looking at this, we got nobody in the top 12 has touched their pit stop yet, but you can see the bottom of the ticker, a bunch of people's timers going. That's how long they've currently been in the pit, or how long they were in the pits for. So I'm doubled up. Why am I doubled up?
I can hear you. I think you're in Discord as well.
Oh, that's cool.
So I can hear 2 of you.
Thanks, Jess. Can you
that
still
was
hear
me.
2 of me?
That wasn't Jess. I can hear you. We are all good now. So.
Oh, no, Jess messaged me too. She said she could hear 2 of me.
Ah, exquisite. Okay,
That's
so.
awesome.
Let's get an update. Will Colon pit? No. Will Alvarez pit? Yes. Hector Alvarez pits. Austin Dills pits. Very late commitment from the 57 to pit. Carlos Ramos pits. Ricardo Delgado pits. Ruiz does not. Odell is pitting. Armando Arens, let's see if he will head to the pit lane. He pits as well.
Yeah, we got 3rd through 7th.
Corrido pits. Everybody's pitting for the majority, so I just don't know if worn tires versus new tires, if you even take tires, Bryan. What's going through Miguel Colon's head right now?
Well, who was it? I'm trying to think of who was telling me this. Might have been Ethan or Victor, actually. They're saying with the way iRacing is now, you can take tires and get fuel at the same time, so there's no reason not to get tires anymore. You can fuel up the car while you get tires. Might as well.
I know normally now in the IMSA series in sports cars, you can fuel and take tires. I believe in the World Endurance Championship, you still can only do one or the other, so
look at this battle
we'll just
here.
have to see.
Gonzalez and Seguinza, yeah.
Gonzalez and Seguinza.
Yes. Or no, it's Gonzalez
Six.
and Ramos, and then Seguinza in the back.
So Seguinza looking to the inside, letting everybody by. David Schofield has come over voice chat. I unfortunately missed what he said. Still waiting for Miguel Colon to pit. He is 28.5 seconds ahead of Hector Alvarez. Bryan, if you can pull up pit time, what was Alvarez's pit time? Does it tell you?
It does.
Let's see.
Alvarez.
Alvarez,
44
44 seconds. So, and Stephen Ryan's asking for race control to take a look mid-race at something. And this is it's a double-edged sword to have a live race control like we've discussed, because then you're going to have guys asking mid-race for something to be looked at. I don't think that should be a thing, to be honest.
It's not a fun job. I mean, you take the brunt of a lot of it, too. I mean, I post the penalties for NASA, and I hear about it all the time. And I don't make the decision on all of them, but I hear about all of them. So Ethan Halsey doing the Lord's work there. It's get people spicy at you. It's not always fun.
16 minutes left to go in Watkins Glen. Thanks for joining us on the Automotive Sports Network. Edgar Ruiz has pitted and exited the pit lane. He loses the second and third spots. Austin Diltz gets by him. Carlos Ramos gets by him. Ricardo Delgado gets by him. Guillermo Seguenza and Yun Gonzalez have pitted. Delgado comes out in front, Ruiz comes out behind Delgado. And where is Colon? Colon has a 38-second gap over Hector Alvarez. So has Alvarez played this strategy right? Because if he had a 44-second pit stop, Colon's going to lose the lead.
Josh, we're going to pull up a replay. It looks like Nathan Kretschmer just had an incident. So we're going to go back and see what exactly happened. What? Why is it showing me lap 1? I don't know why it's showing me lap 1 again. There we go.
This is Kretschmer in the Mustang coming across, not sure who that one is behind him.
Yeah, he was real slow there. I'm just going to say, I mean, the car behind you's got to know what you're doing, but you're not exactly helping yourself getting that slow.
You have the ability, of course, to defend your corner, but parking it on the apex or going very slow like that, not a good idea.
It's not gonna help you any.
Just an update. Miguel Colon is in the pit lane.
I just got back around on somebody. Is that Morgan Smith? I think Morgan Smith
Colon
just
is parked
got around.
in the pit box. Norman Padovani pits. Alvarez. I think Alvarez is going to cycle to the race lead. I'm keeping an eye off monitor on that, taking a look at this. That looks like Morgan Smith in the 58.
What did he
Might have to roll it back super professionally, but Colon is exiting the pit lane.
Yeah,
I think Colon's going to get it.
It.
Smith lost it on her own, or on his own, sorry.
Yeah,
and Miguel Colon leads. I thought Colon was going to lose the lead in the pit stop rotation. But 3.5 seconds is the gap.
3.5 seconds. We can pull up their times, too. That's not their times. There's their times. He had a longer pit stop. Second and a half, yeah.
So.
Lost a little time, but he still came out with 3 seconds. 3 seconds up.
Colon, Alvarez, Diltz, Ramos, Delgado, the top 5. We take a look at David Schofield. Started 9th, currently 9th in the McLaren. And he's currently in a battle with Michael Odell and Parker Duim.
That's after pit strategy, too. So it's nothing to sneeze at all.
Especially in this field, like I said earlier, just you don't know where you're going to be at any given time during the race. Any given race, you could be first, you could be 41st.
Yeah.
Zach Saunders passes Morgan Smith for 16th. 117 up 1 place. And Saunders is 10 seconds back from Armando Arens. Arens in the 17 is sitting in the lead in the AM class right now. 13th overall. Kyle Smith in 23rd, holding off Wanchi Rakenna. As we still look at Odell. We looked at Odell and Schofield there.
Call what you want, Josh. We got a couple little battles all over the track, so whatever you want to look at, just let me know. We'll go. We'll pop over there.
We're taking a look through the field, just trying to see if anything is catching our eye here. As Hector Alvarez resets fastest lap, 3.2 seconds. I'll keep an eye on that off monitor to see if the 70 can catch the 87. As Ramos and Diltz within 3/10. We've got Odell, Schofield, and Duim. As let's keep an eye still on Smith and Rakenna. Last lap time for Rakenna, 1 minute 46.4, 1 minute 45.8 for Kyle Smith. It's a car length and a half between them.
No, Josh, I said I've never really raced here before. Are they allowed to go that far off the track?
Are you talking about the left with all the asphalt?
Yeah,
iRacing doesn't give you an off track.
Oh, okay.
Technically, no. The track limit is the yellow line, but according to iRacing, you don't get a slowdown. I was running that line when I raced in the LMP2 with Joey Morissette for the 6 hour. Just a quick update. I think Parker Duim got a slowdown.
He definitely had a slowdown. He just had Schofield and
No,
Odell.
he over-corrected in the bus stop, and he lost Schofield and Odell. It's easy with these curbs, Brian, especially in GT3s, really in any car. You hit the curb wrong, and we saw it earlier on. Forgive me, I can't remember who hit the wall. I think it was Holroyd. You jump the curb. Obviously, you're in the air. Tires aren't on the ground. You're not going to be able to control your car. You bounce, and around you go. And it benefited Duim as if he didn't end up in the fence. Really quick, 18th, Carter and Clark. Clark to the inside, clears the Mercedes of Carter in the 06. So move the Ferrari up one position. We ride on board Carter in the 06.
He's up 9 positions.
Nathan Kretschmer fan club does not have anything to cheer about because he has been involved in several incidents as he's back to the pit lane in the 43. Diltz and Ramos getting close for the third position in the 57 and the 993. Pallone and Alvarez, the gap has stabilized at 3.5 seconds. I wish we had Justin here as a second commentator to where we could potentially have 3 battles at once, because that's how many battles are happening right now. Yeah. Because Rakenna holding off Crosby, holding off Timms for 24th. We've got Goddard and Doleo. We've got Odell and Schofield. We've got Ruiz and Delgado. Bryan, pick a battle and we'll call it.
All right, let's hit... Well, something happened to Sandoval. Oh, Sandoval just touched the pits. See, that's why he's falling out. Let's hit Saunders-Smith. There we go. Unfortunately... Oh, we got Blinken. We got Blinken by Zach Saunders. Let's see if we have another Cali-like disqualification. I saw one blink, but he's not impeding anybody at the moment.
Luis Ortiz holding off Saunders in the 117. Last lap time, Saunders was a 1.5 seconds faster than Ortiz. Down to the inside, just an update. Diltz has gotten by Carlos Ramos. Ramos has spun from the 3rd spot. They touched. Let's try and roll it back if we can. You might have to go super professional because Carlos Ramos ran a little bit deep. Entering exiting, we got Kretschmer flashing his lights.
Here we go, Josh.
Ramos on driver's left in the red car in the Porsche, and he just missed the corner. And we had another issue.
Yes, we did. Bryan
Ramos came out in front of Coxen. Oh, boy. Okay. That's tricky.
I mean,
it's a blind corner, and you can't move like that, especially in a blind corner. I don't.
Coxen on my timing here. I'm going super professional right now. I don't even see him. He's disappeared.
14th, 15th. He's tumbling. 16th currently, if that helps you.
I want to get his view. Oh.
Never. Oh.
Yeah, that sucks.
If you're Ramos, throw it in reverse.
Well, Ramos was going in reverse. And Coxen realized that it looked like it.
Can we, really quick, can we pick up Odell and Schofield right now? Kretschmer trying to get out of the way. They're side by side. Pick this battle up and then pick us back up to live. Here we are. We're back up front to Ramos. Odell and Schofield battling. Go ahead and finish your point. I'll interject if this gets spicy.
Dying. I was going to say, Coxen realized Ramos was going in reverse and tried to dip the inside. Ramos realized, oh no, I'm backing out onto an active track. And threw it right back into forward to try and get back off the track. And that's what ended Coxen's attempt to pass there.
It's the equivalent of, I would say, miscommunication.
Yeah,
really.
I was going to say that was good eyes on Coxen for noticing that Ramos had the car in reverse. But unfortunate that there was I'm backing out onto the track, and then the realization and turning back forward at the wrong moment.
Yeah, and it comes with the 48 different drivers and there's some language barriers, I know, so there's some issues there. So I don't want to say it's unavoidable, but it almost is with pass-through penalty for the 993 Carlos Ramos. We should see that graphic pop up momentarily. That's going to kill, of course, the 993's race. Black flag for him.
He's currently
Hector Alvarez.
6th position, so we'll see what happens there.
Alvarez took out 0.4 of a second the last lap. Gap is hovering still around 3 seconds. And I think Dylan Clark is helping out with race control. So the TORQ boys having 2 people up in the race control tower. Certainly helping out with that. So Delgado, Ruiz, they're within a couple tenths. Kyle Smith and Manuel Sandoval.
Coxen go for a pass on Jake Carter.
Coxen down to the 20th position, looking to the inside of Carter for 19th. Carter lets him have it. I think Carter knows that's not a battle that he can win.
Yeah, Coxen, just unfortunate luck, started 8th, down to 19th. I think he was a lot lower than that earlier. I don't have a way to get in the lowest position, but I think he's had a pretty decent comeback. Right ahead of them, Alex Rivera on Jeff Cartwright. They're both closing in on Jack Clark.
Jack Clark currently in one car. Or Ramos is taking his penalty now.
Oh, he's
Cartwright,
at 6th.
Clark,
Let's see where he falls down to.
Rivera in the 021, battling Cartwright in the 355, and Jack Clark in the 197. This is 16th, 17th, and 18th. As thanks for hanging with us on the Automotive Sports Network. It's been a crazy night so far, like it always is in the TORQ Sports Car Series. Just under 5 minutes left in Watkins Glen, and I'll tell you what, it has been an easy race since the green flag. Well, since turn 2 for Miguel Colon in the 87. Jose Doleo, his race has gone from bad to worse after crashing in turn 1. He had some netcode issues with Zachary Goddard from the 30th position. Sorry, Brian, go ahead.
More issues for Jose Doleo. He's crashed again. But up front here, we got Diltz about to fend off Delgado and Ruiz. They're both right there.
This battle has been...
And I don't know how that's
happening.
I don't know how that says it's 2/10.
Delgado to the inside! What a move that was never going to work. Diltz closes the door. We'll focus on this battle for the 3rd spot and the final spot on the podium. And while Alvarez and Colon have had quiet races, Diltz, Delgado, Ruiz, they certainly have not. As under 4 minutes. Timing says 3 laps, but we'll see when Barney throws the white flag. Diltz very wide, nearly into the wall. In the 57, in the Mustang, we've got a Corvette and a Ferrari. So 3 different manufacturers. Carlos Ramos has gotten by Morgan Smith for the 13th position. As we still focus, Delgado utilizing all the curb on entry and exit. Better exit to the corner for Ruiz. Then Delgado. Gap is 0.4 from Diltz to Delgado. 1.5 from Delgado to Ruiz. We'll see some slipstreaming down the back straightaway to the bus stop here in Watkins Glen. And then it'll be the boot. Such a flowing circuit in New York. Delgado deep on the brakes again. Flowing circuit. Wonderful circuit to drive. So much undulation. Not any Mickey Mouse chicane corners unless you really kind of force the bus stop into that category. But even then, you're not stopping like most chicanes like we saw in Monza, for example.
Josh,
in this battle between the 3 pro cars.
I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't even know this track was in New York. You said New York, and I instantly thought, where's Carrito? Carrito's in P10. Of course he knows this track.
Hometown hero, Dan Carrito, for Saints and Sinners. We got JP DeFino, Jeff Cartwright, I believe, from New York as well. A lot of the Saints and Sinners boys. Really quick, Odell, Schofield, and Duim have come together.
Oh.
And Odell has spun from the 7th position. If we can take a second look, Odell hit the curb. Schofield, they came together on exit.
Let's pull it up.
Not sure what was going on there. I'm keeping an eye on that battle we just left. Schofield on driver's left on the outside. We've got Odell. Odell hit the curb and slid wide, and Schofield came on the exit of the corner. Two cars just coming together, Bryan.
And this is exactly how you do it. You stay off the track until they all pass.
As Miguel Colon leads by 3.3, that gap has increased. It has actually hovered around there since the pit stop. Hector Alvarez in second. Austin Diltz, Ricardo Delgado, Edgar Ruiz. This is going to be the battle. We've got a minute and a half. I think we're going to get the white flag this time. We will not get the checkered this time. Delgado, Ruiz gaining, bump drafting down the back straightaway here at Watkins Glen into the bus stop. You have to be picture perfect, pixel perfect, if you will, with these apexes, with these curbs. So easy to make a mistake. Delgado runs wide. You pick up the throttle a little bit too soon. You're going to run out of every bit of grip. Your tires are going to cry for mercy through the cambered corner. As this is still the battle for the podium position. Last spot on the podium between Diltz and Delgado. We've got Rivera battling Clark. We don't have to switch that off monitor. I'm taking a look. Car length between them. That's for 16th. That's the next closest battle. Delgado looks to the inside on Diltz. Rivera looks to the inside in the bus stop. Colon passing Ryan, putting him another lap down. Colon through the final corner. 30 seconds left on the clock. We will get the white flag as Barney waves it in the flag stand. We take the white flag in New York. Stephen Ryan not happy, arguing with somebody over chat. Rivera and Clark battling in the toe of the boot. Coxen loves this as well. And Rivera clears Clark for the 16th position. Diltz is half a second in front of Delgado, who's a further 0.3 ahead of Ruiz. We've got a lap left to figure out who will be
why is it telling me
the last car on the podium, Bryan. Go ahead.
Last car just hit the so the white flag is going. I don't know why it told me Ricardo Delgado's triggered the white flag, but that's who it said triggered the white flag. We are definitely on the last lap. And Barney definitely lies to us sometimes as well. So
absolutely. We had that in Montreal a couple weeks ago, where I'm thinking we have the white flag, and Barney's lying to me, and he's throwing the checkered flag as I think it was the white flag. So Delgado and Ruiz are a little bit too far back, and Delgado knows this, and he has to make something happen for the third spot on the podium.
On board, Delgado.
You've got really two spots. You can't really make a move here, but he's going to try! Sends it onto the curb. He's quicker. Well, no, they were identical lap times the last time around. All three of them for the third spot on the podium. Delgado's going to come from a long way back. Will he send it deep on the brakes? He closes up into turn 9 for the final time. Meanwhile, up front, Bryan, Miguel Colon off the final corner had an incident of contact with Jose Doleo and didn't look back. He wins in Watkins Glen ahead of Hector Alvarez. And this battle for third, I think, will come to an end. Austin Diltz survives and holds off Ricardo Delgado and Edgar Ruiz. Diltz comes home in third. Delgado, Ruiz, fourth and fifth. Schofield and Duim have had a hell of a battle.
18th, Coxen and Clark is the closest battle.
Coxen and Clark.
The rest of the people are going to
Coxen on the inside. Coxen after the issues earlier on. Still side by side. Clark's going to have the preferred line. It's an off-camber corner. We saw it's easy to drift wide, hitting the curb. No contact between them. And Cartwright, what a run for Cartwright in the 355 and 19th. Good run for him for Saints and Sinners. Coxen takes the spot from Clark. Clark's got one corner left. And that position is solidified as well. Through the field in the last couple of corners, we've got Heinemann and Vasquez for 29th. Final couple of corners for Heinemann in the 64. I thought this battle was going to be close. It was super close. Vasquez was on the rear wing of Heinemann, but lost it at the very end. Heinemann 29th, Vasquez 30th. Aaron Hallroyd fixed his car. He will come home in the 31st position. Omar Esvito parked it. I think he ran out of fuel as Betts and Sosa had to split him off the final corner. Doug Betts at the line for 33rd ahead of Sosa from first.
Excellent avoidance. Excellent.
That was impressive. And we can take a second look at that. We might have to do it professionally, of course. But that was...
I think I could just roll it back like this.
Let's see. Let's
go
one car back. Roll. You can roll. You were fine.
Oh, I was
You were
good?
fine. Yeah, we'll have to go back forward. Stop it. Go back one car and go on board. It should be Beth.
You're asking me how to do things I don't know how to do.
It's okay.
What position was that?
Well, we can run this. Just watch this.
Oh!
Just car! Basically parked on corner exit.
I got it. I found it in time.
It's terrifying to see a stopped car in general, right? But when you're at a $140 corner exit and you see basically a parked car, code brown. Confirmation of the classification. Miguel Colon, Hector Alvarez, Dilt, Delgado Ruiz in the top 5, Schofield Duim, Alan Carrito, Lorenz, top 10, and wins in AM. Michael Odell, Zach Saunders in 12th. Ramos, Smith, Ortiz, Rivera, Coxen, Clark, Cartwright, Sandoval, Smith, Carter, Gonzalez, and Timms through 24th. 25th, Requena, Crosby, Seguenza, Zach Goddard. What could have been? I'll be biased for 2 seconds for JC Simsport. What could have been? Donnie Heineman, Vasquez, Hallroy's, Betts, Sosa, Curran, Doleo. Really what could have been for the pole sitter. And Esvedo through 36th. Ryan Kretschmer, Wilkie, Padavani, McNulty, Vincent Height, Zarat, Colazzo, Rode, Fazzillo, Trevino, and shotgun on the field in 48th. Wesley Woods, remember Clark and Halsey. Race control, so Christian Requendo and Kieran Liffland are the 2 cars that did not qualify this evening. As I think we've got our first interview. Are you ready, Bryan?
I think so.
Going to pull in Austin Diltz. And I hear myself internally twice. But Austin, do you got me? Going well, my friend. The question that I have been asking is normally it's been a pretty boring race, but for you, my friend, you were all over everywhere. Talk me through your race.
Yeah, no, in the beginning, I didn't really think I had the pace to fight for a podium, so I was kind of just hoping for a top 10, and I thought first corner, things kind of went the way that Watkins does and got a little wild. And I haven't been able to watch it back, but I'm not sure if you guys were watching when I popped by Carlos the first time on the back straight. The yeses, that was a little
When
crazy.
you sent it, we absolutely did. That was a good time.
Yeah, that was definitely a wild little send. So I'm sorry to Carlos for that one and for our little incident that we had. I definitely did not want that to happen. I was looking forward to battling him. But
what was going through your mind when you were trying to hold off those guys at the end? Because there was a nice little battle.
Yeah, no, what was going through my mind was I did not have any tire left, and I was hoping that I could hold him off. I honestly didn't think that I would. I thought I'd end up behind even Edgar. But I got lucky. I know Ricardo pulled out his nose a couple times, and I kind of shut the door on him. And there was some hard racing going on, but I'm glad that we all were able to bring it to the line.
As a good third place podium, my friend. Anyone you'd like to thank for the result tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my wife, my dad for always supporting me, and the WBM guys, and you. You guys put on a great broadcast. I always love watching it back, and it's always professional.
We're professional until we have a replay break, and then we have to go back and really kind of figure it out on the fly, but I promise we know what we're doing. So, all right, my friend, good race, and we'll see you next week in Road America.
Thank you, guys.
All right, so we've got Hector Alvarez, second place in the pro category. And Hector, it's Josh in the commentary box. You got me?
Yep, I got you.
And if I recall correctly, and I could be off base on this, you kind of had a quiet race. I guess talk me through it. If it wasn't quiet and I'm hallucinating, feel free to correct.
No, it was pretty quiet. Except T1 lap 1. Doleo he went wide, and I think he hit Miga. I almost collected him as well, but other than that, it was a pretty clean race. Spent most of the time behind Carlos, fuel saving. I think he had some damage because he was pretty slow on the straights, or it could just be it's a Porsche. But man, I tried my best catching up to Miguel. I was looking at the lap times and we were pretty much doing the same lap time, so it was pretty much impossible. So he did a great race. I messed up my pit stop and really nothing I could do. He did too good.
As still P2, nothing to be upset about. Anyone you'd like to thank for that result tonight, my friend?
Yeah, my teammate, although he's in AM, Armando. Yeah, I think he was P1 for AM.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah. So great race to him as well, and I of course thank him because of the setups he prepared for the team. So they worked great. Strategy worked great. So can't complain.
Alrighty, my friend. Good run, and we'll see you next week at Road America.
See you. Thank you.
We have the AM class winner, whose teammate was second overall. We've got Armando Arens in the commentary box now. It's Josh in the booth. You got me?
Hello? Yes, I'm here.
So I'm looking through qualifying, right? And Jose Doleo set pole overall, and I'm thinking he's going to win the race, right? He crashes in turn one. So what is your thought process on that? And walk me through your race.
When I've been seeing him in practices, like from Le Mans. He's been flying. He needs to go to pro, man. No, but he's been very fast this last couple of races. When I saw him crash, I was like, okay, I guess it's me now. And I try to hold. I had a big fight. Well, not a big fight. It was like pretty tight with Dan and Corey Allen. Shout out to them. They raced like super clean. I'm like super happy. Like no complaints about them. Big shout out. And no, I just raced my race and just did it. Like looked at my gas, put the right amount of gas, and try to minimize every mistake.
As not only did you win, of course, in the AM class, we're looking at your graphic right now. Started 15th overall, up to 10th. So just running your own race while people crash and have incidents around you, certainly beneficial, my friend. Anyone you'd like to thank for this victory tonight?
Yeah, shout out to Jose again, Doleo. He was like very fast. Sucks that happened, but I want to thank the second place guy, Hector. He's basically my teacher. He's always telling me like hold the brakes, don't put the gas and brake at the same time. I'm still working on that. I want to thank Manu Sandoval. He's the one that told us about the series. He's like, I love Manu. Carlos Ramos, Miguel Colon, Edgar, and my buddy Alex Rivera. Even though he mutes me, I still love him. And all the guys from Sim Racing PR, they've been like really good group of friends. You guys should join some of our races too. It's a big group of guys, pretty cool. And I want to also thank Ethan. Hope he gets well soon. His voice is, a little, a little weird, but hope he gets good. And thank you for this series.
Ethan this is better than he has been. So he he commentates a rallycross series for us on Sundays, and he sounded atrocious. And I said, you don't have to worry about commentating. So he's making progress, just for everyone to know. So I digress. Good run, my friend, and we'll see you next week at Road America.
All righty, thank you guys very much.
Absolutely. And it's the man of the hour. Well, it's the other man of the hour, because you won pro and overall. Miguel Colon, it's Josh in the booth. You got me?
Yes, I copy.
I was hoping that my question for you would be, what a battle that you had with Jose Doleo, but I guess walk me through turn one and then the rest of your race, because it was, at least from our point of view, kind of quiet for you.
Yeah, I think that start was kind of I won't call it sketchy, but it was kind of tight. He got a pull away on me, and I think he tried to cover because I was looking on my side mirror, in my side window on the right side, and I saw that he was covering Hector on the inside. And then when I saw him kind of lifting early, and I was able to do my normal brake a little deeper, and kind of I feel like I had a car clear in front of him. I was like, okay, I will try to make the corner, but giving him some room in the inside. And I think he tried to cover the inside later. And then when I see that I was looking that he making a contact with me, I just tried to pull out. So I didn't get spin. And when I tried to pull out, I guess he ended up spinning in that section. But, I tried to giving him complete full lane in the inside at that moment.
As Bryan, you got anything for our race winner? He's muted, so I'm going to assume he doesn't. Okay. I want to give you an unofficial real quick, Miguel, in points.
I'm going down. Don't worry about that.
Moved up. You moved up. You're 11th now unofficially, so that's kind of cool. Anyone you'd like to thank for your victory tonight?
No, I want to thank all the guys. Today we had a couple guys from the CMPR and Puerto Rico running in the league, and we all have good qualifying. They were practicing this week. I practiced with them also a couple times. I think key victory today, fuel saving. I was fuel saving the whole race. I think that gave me some edge. So I want to thank all the guys, Armando, Hector, Manu Pled, the whole group of CMPR from Puerto Rico, and my sponsor, Sawyer Machine Shop too.
All right, my friend. Great win this evening. We'll see you next week at Road America.
All right. Thank you, guys.
I just want to publicly say, and it's awesome to see the Puerto Rican group of sim racers that they're, of course, leading the team's championship, both of them. And I don't mean disrespect when I exaggerate. There's like 10 of you. It's awesome to see that we just have a nice group of friends that are having a good time. Super fun to watch. As, let's take a look. We got points, Bryan.
Oh, shit.
We can take a look. Let's take a look unofficially at points, shall we? Parker Duim up 3 by over Corey Allen. Edgar Ruiz, Coxen Ramos, Carrito Schofield, Alvarez, Clark, Rivera, the top 10. That's in pro. The AM class, is that correct? Jose Doleo's got a 35-point lead despite having those issues over Kretschmer, Arens, Tims, Vasquez,
I don't know what you're
Sosa.
looking at.
Oh, mine is wrong. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Jose Doleo and Kretschmer tied. Okay, this is getting
That's
spicy.
more like it.
Listen, inside baseball, the spreadsheet I'm looking at here is broken, apparently. I've got it on 2 different screens. Doleo, Kretschmer, Arens, Tims, Vasquez, Sosa, Robichaux, Ryan, Chang, and Smith, top 10. The team's championship, as we're going to be surprised because my sheets don't work, WBM Green up by 19 over Sim PR. 3 points ahead of Sim Racing PR as Midwest Motorsports, EHM Midwest Gold gains consider as we take a look down the order. And the Manufacturers Championship, McLaren, Ford, Porsche, Ferrari, Corvette, BMW, Lamborghini, Mercedes. So McLaren up 2, Porsche down 2 as some shuffling happening there. Some programming notes before we say goodnight on the Automotive Sports Network, and it's kind of simple when it looks like this. The 31st season of the Overwatch Specialty Service, NASA Rallycross Challenge, the Supercar Division, World Championship Division, whatever you want to call it, will be concluding Saturday on the 9th, 2 p.m. Eastern. Bryan Sawyer, myself, Josh Wertz for that. Will we see Evan McFarlane become the youngest 3-time consecutive world champion, or will Kieran Lifflander break that streak and become world champion himself? We'll just have to tune in and watch in Knock Hill. TORQ Sports Car Round 7 in Wisconsin and Road America next Thursday, the 14th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be super fun. Unofficially, TORQ IndyCar will begin not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after. We'll have that programming note for sure clarified for you next week. So happy to have that. That's going to be on Tuesday nights. And then Bryan's going to have the Wednesday, iRacing official Rallycross broadcast. That's a Bryan thing. He'll tell you all about that one.
I'm still figuring out a day. It's literally I gotta figure out when to break my gym schedule.
Can't break the gym schedule. Gains have to be made. Cameras all season on ASN, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. Be sure to check them out at facebook.com/WSimCams. And thank you, Andrew Ricardo IV, for your camera support. And if you like what you saw tonight, I want to publicly apologize for the first lap or so with my commentary. My computer decided to have a seizure. That wasn't a fun time. If you like what you saw tonight, be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube, and ring the bell to be notified of our live streams. Currently, going to be Tuesday, TBD, and Thursday. Saturday is going to conclude, like I said, this Saturday. along with our short-form video content courtesy of Jess Rakowski. If you'd like your content broadcasted, asntvusa.com. Bryan, Sawyer, give me a final thought before we say goodnight.
That was a lot of fun. This series is getting better and better each week. A lot of clean racing. I'm genuinely surprised. I mean, all these drivers are pretty clean, pretty good. There's nothing crazy. We're not seeing any full course cautions, cars flying all over, and we're getting some pretty nice, good racing up front. Everybody's nice and close. It's exactly what you want in a series. Excited to watch it.
I echo all those statements. It has been super fun to watch the growth and development. We remember the crazy full course yellow in turn 1, on the start at Road America last season, and we haven't had that.
But that's where we're going next week.
Oh, I just jinxed it. We haven't even started. Oh, what did I do? We're going to close it out as I commentator curse next week. The checkered flag has fallen on the evening. From all of us at the Automotive Sports Network, from Jess Rakowski, Victor Valley, Justin Robichaux, Josh Darnell, Ethan Halsey, Cody Erdmann, and Bryan Sawyer. My name is Josh Mertz, as we hope you enjoyed tonight's coverage of the TORQ Sports Car Series tonight from Watkins Glen. We congratulate our Pro Class winner, Miguel Colon, and our AM Class winner, Armando Arenz, and be sure to join us next week in Road America. But until then, so long, everyone.